네, 삼가 중학교 3학년 이연 학생입니다. 4.3 항쟁과 부시 아저씨, April 3rd Uprising and Mr. Boo란 주제로 발표하겠습니다.
In my neighborhood, there is a man from Jeju whose family name is Boo. He farmed ginger with my father. My father told me that Mr. Boo was a descendant of the victims of the Jeju April 3rd uprising. Mr. Boo's grandfather was taken to Japan as a student soldier during the Japanese colonial era, but returned to Jeju Island after liberation. Then, only 3 years later, he died during the uprising. As Mr. Boo grew up, he majored in film, and in 1999, he recalled his late grandfather while participating in the production of a documentary film called Red Hunt, which deals with the Jeju uprising. Red Hunt is an expression written in a 1947 US military government report explaining the activities of the Northwest Youth Corps. In the 1990s, Jeju residents were reluctant to talk about the uprising. In this atmosphere, Mr. Boo's relatives were very uncomfortable with Mr. Boo trying to make the uprising into a movie. The movie Red Hunt begins in Darangshgur Cave, near Sahar village, Mr. Boo's hometown. Darangshgur Cave is now the site of the uprising, but it was a place that only local people knew when Mr. Boo was young. He always smiled and treated me friendly, so I didn't think he'd be involved in such a terrible thing. I knew nothing about the uprising, but I became interested in Mr. Boo's story, and I realized that the uprising was a history close to me. After watching the movie Red Hunt, I was angry and sad, but there are only a few lines about the uprising in my textbook. Please take a look at this screen. This is in my history textbook. There is no specific content in the textbook that I could feel as when I watched the movie Red Hunt. There were no horrible killings of civilians, such as the suffocation of people with smoke in Darangshgur Cave and the pushing of people in Jeongbang Forest because bullet water waste. It's just vague explanation that countless residents were victimized. During the Jeju uprising, May 18th Gwangju democracy uprising, and even nowadays in Myanmar, soldiers and police massacred many citizens. For soldiers, public protection comes first, and that should never happen. My dream is to go to the Korea Military Academy and become a soldier who protect my country. I promise one thing, I will never be a soldier pointing a gun at an innocent citizen. I have a new goal while preparing for this Jeju Uprising English speech contest. I'd like to lead my life informing not only my friends, but also people around the world about the truth and pain of Jeju's history that I have learned about through this preparation. Thank you.